Same thing. I do my leg drag pass. I move laterally. I bring my shin across. I have structure, hip over my knee, so I've weight on it. I'm not going to be sitting back. My left foot is out for stability. Curve is dragging me this way. Okay. I have my grips, this, and I have this, and I'm putting a lot of pressure on them. So, we're going to look at how to attack this arm. Obviously, you know, perfect position. We've been looking at different ways of actually hitting arm triangles. Okay, and perfect position, because he's on his side, this is the arm I'm going to be attacking. All right, this is the arm that's exposed. This is the arm that I'm not going to get unless he turns into me, and we'll look at that in a minute. So, from here, it just depends on the situation, guys. I've got my grips, but let's just say Carl has got inside control, which is not good for me. I want inside control. So ideally, from here, I'm going to swim my arm inside, put my head, just like we did in the last move, and drive it into space, and I want to re-get my grip again. Again, I want to be making Carl make a funny face by doing this, and his reaction is to push my head off. Now watch. Everything we have taught about was creating a space. See the way when Carl's playing this game, he's got his elbow tight to his body. Can I get an arm triangle here? Not if I can force my head in there, but if you watch when Carl starts to push my head away, there's a big space. His elbow has to come up for him to get leverage to push my head off. So when he does, this grip that we talked about, all I'm going to do is elevate, okay, my elbow up like this. So what I want to do is push Carl's shoulder into that position that we talked about. Good. Okay? So from here, when he starts to push my face, and all I'm doing is this, bring your elbow back again, Carl. It's kind of hard with the grip that I have on the back of the gi. All I'm going to do is swim my head underneath the space. Okay, and then I'm into my, if he stays on the side, okay, it's Ezekiel time. I'll grab my wrist, I'll chair sit, and then from here, I have the submission, or Carl defends and puts his back on the mat, dropping belly down, making sure my bicep is on the far jugular. I've got my grip, head on the mat, and we just walk around to get the top. From here, he defends, turns onto the side again. My bicep then, as he turns, I let him turn. I don't try to keep him on his back. Again, as he turns, my forearm is coming onto this jugular. Get my grip, or if it's no gi, bicep. Okay. I have a submission. So, one more time. Sit up guard. So, pushing, dragging, drag him laterally, and I get my grips. Here and here. Make him pull a funny face by shoving this up. And when he does, I bring this up by making my arm come up, and I drop my head into the space. Here, guys. Now, sometimes what can happen is we lose this position, and then this elbow, I've got to keep it glued to my hip. Okay? Because if Carl can swim his left hand inside, here, left, yeah, and then make a frame, here and here, switch positions. Back. So, if there's space here, guys, right, and I've got my frame up, okay, all I want to do is be able to swim my left hand in like this, okay, and then from here I can break this grip. Okay, so again from here, Carl, make sure that so I haven't got that at all. So the detail is, guys, I've got to make sure that I can swim this. I can't get my left hand. If I can get that left hand in, I can make grips, and then I make space from here, and move my hips back, possibly get guard again. So. Pressure. Keep my grips, drive in, and he pushes, my elbow super tight, so I drop my head underneath, okay, keeping this elbow tight, okay, getting my grip here, as I go to pass, or maybe take the Ezekiel, Carl puts us back on the mat. I'm just dropping straight into my Kata Gatame. Turns to the side, switch. See my left knee's coming up behind his back. Make sure it's safe. The other thing that can happen is I don't get inside control. Carl keeps this grip here and he's just pressuring into me. I can't swim inside to get my head in his throat. Okay? So from here, all I want to do is keep this high. I'm just going to drive forward. Alright? Just like as if I'm sticking my head in his throat, so I'm projecting my body forward, and then from here I'm going to use my left hand to smear it. Okay? Get my grip, elbow tuck so he can't swim inside, try to swim inside that arm, and I'm going to drop it. So me Kata Gatame. From there, walk. Attack. So it just really depends. It kind of becomes a hand fight there. Ideally, I want to be controlling that inside space. So I want to be swimming inside. Okay, sometimes what happens is they'll get the grip here. Okay? And from here, when I put a lot of pressure into him and try to push it, I can't. Why? Because he's got his grip. And we'll look at the Bravo, which is your other option. Okay, but if he hasn't, and I put pressure on him and he hasn't that grip, and I smear it, okay, if he stays on the side, I look for Ezekiel. If he drops to his back, I have my Kata Gatame. So that's what you want to be looking for. The only other option is, guys, or the only kind of other transition I've seen is when I'm here and I make my grips, and I've got my grips here. Let's just say I haven't projected my weight forward and I'm kind of back a little bit, and Carl drives me back and turns into me, try and put me back in the guard here. Okay? So, if I'm aware of that, when he turns into me, what side is now open for Kata Gatame? The other arm. Obviously, I'm not going to attack this arm because that's the side that's not exposed. So it's just getting your head to the mat. So again, from here, if I go for this version of it, and I've got my grips, and I'm here and here, and I back off, and Carl turns into me, as long as I get my head to the mat here, okay? And then from this position, okay, we're into our knee on belly position, which we already looked at, yeah? Where I drive forward, windshield wiper, turns away from me. Ezekiel on the opposite side. So whether I get it on this side or this side, it just depends in the scuffle of the spar. He's either here, I'm going to attack this side. If he turns into me, I'm going to be attacking that side. So, keep my pressure on. Okay. Back off a little bit as Carl turns into me. I get my head to the mat here. Okay. Pressure forward. Shin comes across. Project my weight forward. Windshield wiper. And my Kata Gatame on this far side. Okay, so that's your Kata Gatame Ezekiel, guys, from the leg drag. Let's drill for 5.